Hey y'all, real-time Losot here, actually talking directly to you. And I just wanted to say a few things before ending off the video here, which is firstly that I really appreciate that you watched it until the very end. It really means a lot to me, especially since I'm just starting out here with the first few videos, so really appreciate that. Besides that, I also really like to reflect on what I've been doing and most importantly what I've learned during the process, and in this case making the military character. Generally speaking, this is the first semi-full workflow I've ever done and the first time I've ever used Substance Painter. So I've learned quite a lot of new things and also getting used to a whole new software in the making of this military character. And the reason I say semi-full workflow is because I cheated my way generating the human character with a Blender add-on instead of sculpting it from scratch. But that's just efficient thinking. Anyways, the most important things I've learned for Substance Painter, to begin with, are moving around the scene, moving the light, working with the layering and masking system, which I have used before in Photoshop, but not really, because I didn't really use it that much, but I've used it a few times. Anyways, I really enjoy the workflow. Like, it feels very intuitive, actually, to have a material applied on the entire surface and then use this, what's it called, a masking system, in order to kind of draw your materials onto the object. It feels very natural, very nice, and I'm sure you can also do this in Blender. But why would I when it's so easy to do it in Substance Painter, right? And I'm a student, so it's almost free for me. Almost, what am I saying? It's completely free for me, literally. I'm a student, and for students, these kind of software have crazy discounts. Other things I've learned in Substance Painter or making my own smart materials, which smart materials are something that, well, I haven't seen anywhere else, so I'm just gonna assume they're unique to Substance Painter, but they might not, so don't quote me on that. But they have these smart masks, which kind of do some calculations in order to find the crevices of the object, or they just use the maps that are generated for that. Probably. But they make, well, rust or dirt or dust appear on those surfaces, in order to create that little bit more realism that you can add to your object materials, which is very nice and also feels very intuitive to use. You need to have baked every map before you can use those, which brings me to the next thing that I've learned, and that's baking in Substance Painter, and oh my god, it's so much better than I could have imagined. I was out here trying to bake my normal map in Blender, and it literally, you need to wait 5 minutes every time you press that button, and every time you change like I don't know, 0.1 millimeter of the variables, the ray distance and stuff, in order to kind of find the right the sweet spot. And it's just a tedious process. While in Substance Painter, you can visually see the ray distance. They show you this whole layer outside of your object, and they're like, okay, that's gonna be how the distance that we're gonna bake this. And it also does it a lot faster. In 30 seconds, it baked not only a normal map, but also ambient occlusion, height map, you name it, all of the maps actually, roughness, metal, no, probably not metal, alpha maps. How does it even, I don't know. It generated a lot of maps. I'm happy with it. So the next thing is Blender. I have been using Blender for a while now, but I haven't really sculpted that much in my life, so I feel like I've gotten a lot more advanced in sculpting in Blender. And also another thing which is kind of specific is the layer brush in Blender. You hide it with a layer brush that allows you to draw these complex shapes onto a surface without having to worry that you're gonna draw multiple layers in some spots, because it makes it sure it stays persistent everywhere from the moment you pressed the set persistent hide button. So it's very nice. And before actually ending the video, I assume that since you've made it this far, you kind of like the video, maybe, hopefully. Anyways, I think it'd be cool if you left a like on the video, and if you want future content and stay updated, then you can also subscribe, and it would really help me for the algorithm if you left a comment down below. I don't know, just say what you liked about the video, or maybe a request, maybe something you would like to see on the channel, tutorials or something. I don't know, I have been thinking about making tutorials maybe, so if people want that, then I'm all down to making that. And then after rigging the character, I've made an animation, an extremely cringy animation, and you're probably gonna cringe when I show it to you. But anyway, that's how I'm gonna end the video. So bye.